Okay guys, so welcome to my second IGTV. I don't know if I would have uploaded the other one because it wasn't working, but if you missed that one, that was 5 steps to a 5K launch, and those were the steps that we implemented to achieve that result for ourselves. So another important topic I wanted to talk about is about failure, and I have touched on it a little bit, but I think it's something that is really not talked about, and that is how much that failure is a part of a business's success. So most people think that if you fail, like you're not good at it, and that you should probably give up. But in actual fact, that is not the case, and failure is a huge part of it. And if you don't fail, you're not going to get to where you're going. It's just how it is. Every single person that has had a successful business, I've read a lot of books, I've spoken with a lot of business owners. There's always things that go wrong, and the quicker that you, I guess, adjust to that and accept that, I've started to expect things to happen. And when things happen, like in the very beginning, I'd cry and I'd be upset, devastated, and then the next time it would happen and I'd be a little less upset, and now I learn to get over it really quickly, and I think, okay, it's just a part of it, and that it's just kind of, it means that I'm one step closer. Every fuck up, every failure, everything that goes wrong, I'm like, okay, yep, we're one step closer to where I want to be exactly. So I actually wrote down towards the end of last year, all of the things that had gone wrong in the year that had just gone by, and all the things that had gone right. And I will share that with you in a second. It's crazy how many things go wrong to how many things, like your failures, like your struggles compared to your successes, I guess. But yeah, I want to share the stats of business failure. So 97% of businesses fail, and 60% of those fail within the first 3 years of operations. Like 97%. That is massive. So 100 businesses, they start, 97 of them close down. That's just a huge, it's just insane. And like, you see a lot of places that will pop up shops and then they're gone straight away, and I wonder, is it because they think, oh, I'm not making much money, so it's not what I thought it would be? Or is it because they have a few hiccups and they just, like, financially, especially with the shop front, I can't relate to that. There are, obviously I have other expenses, but I couldn't imagine having to pay like $500, $1,000 a week, especially in that startup phase where you're not actually, most businesses aren't actually making a huge amount of money. So when I wrote down, I will share my struggles in the last year alone. So I had a real estate and property styling agency before I started Glamour Glasses, and I didn't have much experience. I'm a good stylist. The real estate side of it, I definitely could have got more industry experience before I went and started my own agency. I'm not a really salesy type of person. I say that out of judgment, I guess, for the industry, but I'm starting to, with the course that I'm doing now with my e-commerce coach, I'm learning that pretty much everything is sales. So I say that from a place of what I used to think a salesperson was like. And I kind of just wanted to differentiate myself from that as far as possible. So I just, like, I refused to dress how real estate agents dressed. I refused to act like how they acted. That is not to say that they're all bad. There were a few, especially where I'm from, that you wonder how people deal with them, and I guess that's why a lot don't. But anyways, so I had this agency, and I just thought, like, it's not a hard thing to do. Like, a lot of it's admin, and a lot of properties, I thought just sell themselves, and as long as they're presented properly, then that's all that matters, kind of thing. So I was like, how hard could it be? And then so I went out and I had the first house that I was trying to sell, and I really struggled. Like, it was a really shitty house that nobody wanted, and I just thought, okay, well, presenting it in a certain way would attract more people, but at the end of the day, you can't change that there was no off-road, off-street parking, or you can't change that there's no privacy in the backyard, or things like that. So that was a big lesson. Got a phone call and got interrupted, and now I've lost my train of thought. But basically, I was 9 months pregnant. I was 3 days or 2 days before my planned cesarean section, and I was still trying to sell the property. We decided that it was not working, and for me to realize and accept that what I was doing, not only did I not know enough about what I was doing, that I needed to learn more. I should have, if I really wanted to do that, I should have stayed where I was at. I was at a good agency. But I think for me, I don't want to work for other people. Like, I want to work for myself. I want to build something of myself for myself. That's why, one of the main reasons why I had left to pursue that. So I realized that there was more to it than just presenting a property in a certain way. And I guess I had the baby, and then I was just like, shit, what am I going to do? Like, I realized that I didn't love what I was doing enough to keep going at it. And I'm somebody that I will keep going. Like, I am really resilient, and I can knock down and keep getting back up again if it's something that I really enjoy doing. And I think that's the difference. And that's why they say to do something that you really love, because if you don't, the first hurdle you get, you're going to quit and give up. And that's what I did. But I think for anything, it was realizing that it's not what I wanted to do, and it wasn't worth it to me. The money that I'd put into it, the time that I'd put into it, but you know what, at the end of the day, I think, thank God that happened. Like, thank God I wasn't good at what I was doing, because I would have stayed there doing that, and then in 5-10 years I would have been like, holy crap, what am I doing? I don't like this. So I just think, like, thank fuck that happened, because I would have still been stuck doing something that I didn't love doing, just to, chase a dream of having my own business or whatever else. So that turned into a long story. So that was my first struggle. And then with that property as well, I'd put like about $5,000 of my own money into it. So by walking away, I'd pretty much lost all of that as well. So there was a lot riding on it, but sometimes you just have to make the choice to pull the plug. And looking back now, I think that was a hard thing, but a good thing that I had to do to realize that. What else? So I've got that, putting the money into it and being pregnant. I talked about that already. Yeah, just accepting that it was something that I'd put years into and that I was just going to walk away from it and clean my hands of it. Realizing or figuring as such what my next move was going to be while I was recovering from my surgery. So I was at home with the baby, and I'm not somebody who can kind of just sit and I kind of need to be doing something. I need my mind to be focused on something. So I was at home recovering from my cesarean with a newborn, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, what is my next step? Dealing with faulty products. So one of my very first shipment of glasses were faulty. I had a really hard time. It was really hard thing to deal with at the time. Figuring out what to do. I had pre-orders, so I really had to sort that out really quickly. Running out of stock for months on end when I just built up the momentum for the company. And then feeling like I had to start again when I finally got that stock, and I'm still feel like I'm building that up. And just realizing in general that, one day, like, you might have a crazy sales, and then the next day you might have none. Like, it's just so up and down, and that is totally normal. And that's another thing that my coach is going through with me. She's like, one day you might have 20k in sales, and then the next day you might have nothing, and that's normal. Like, that is really normal in the industry. And then so I've had all of those struggles. I mean, there's more, but those were the main ones anyway. On the flip side, what did I achieve? So creating a business and a space and a community that I absolutely love. I love showing up to. I just love everything about it. And that's the difference. It makes such a big difference to someone's happiness. And the actual business as well, because I think when you don't like something, people can see straight through it. What did I achieve? Selling out of our launch was a huge success as well. So 5k in around 24 hours, and selling out, that was more than I'd made like in my own business. So that was huge for me. And the other thing is being featured in major news and magazine publications. So Daily Mail, Sydney Morning Herald, InStyle, Marie Claire. So we worked with an amazing PR company, Hive, and they really helped us out there. I mean, you can't force journalists to write pieces on you, but if they are aware of you, they can decide if they think, I guess, it's worthy to pop it in there. So if you can see a trend here, look at all of the bad things, like all of the failures, all of the fuck ups, all the struggles, and look at what I actually achieved. So I think there was like 10 shitty things that I went through and 3 really good things. So that's like 70% of it was shit and 30% was good. So just understanding that in business and even in life in general, a lot of the time it's gonna be that 70% shit and 30% good. And I think the difference is if you can expect that that's gonna happen and that's normal, so by speaking about it that it's normal, if other businesses jumped on board and said the same thing, maybe society would start to accept that this is quite normal, and then people won't give up in the first year. They'll realize like it's going to take 5 years to reach the point of the level of success that we hope for, kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of what I mainly wanted to share, is just normalizing it and how important that is. But yeah, I don't want to ramble too long. It's been over 10 minutes so far. But yeah, love to know your questions. Love to know if you found it valuable. Let me know anything else that you guys want me to share. Yeah.